Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. This morning I'm working on my Phaius orchid, which grew two beautiful spikes and flowered beautifully for me this season. I learned recently that the best way to promote the new growth, which I have actually two new growths starting up. Smaller one here, this one's already developing leaves. This was a previous year's growth that lost the tips of its leaves, but it never fully developed. And I think the reason why is because what I recently learned is that when you cut the leaves of the current season's growth, it pushes the energy of the plant into the new growths, supposedly. So I'm trying that this year. I decided not to trim these off just yet, but I will as soon as I see more development of these leaves. I don't know if it matters, but that's just what I'm going to do. There's a previous growth from a while back as well on this side that has never done anything. Let's see if I can get this to focus. So I wonder if me doing this, I might end up with 3 new growths starting up for this season. We'll see what happens. So I want to keep track of my Phaius as it develops this year, and I'll post videos through different stages. Now, one of the things I did is I trimmed off the 2 flower stems because I also want to try to propagate this plant. And from what I understand, you can propagate from the flower stems and the nodes that can develop their own buds and little plantlets. So I've already trimmed them off, and I'm going to show you next how they look, and I'll explain how I trimmed them, and we'll go from there. So I've brought you into my grow room, and here are the cuttings. Now I'm a little concerned that I might have waited too long to do the cuttings. They're awfully, some portions brown and yellow, where it was all really pretty green as it was in bloom. So this might not be successful, but it'll be a fun project to try out to see if I can get baby plants. But basically I had 2 flower stems, and this is what I have left to show for it. The top portions of each stem that actually produced flowers, from what I understand, those will not create a new plantlet. So if it flowered from a node, it's done. So I snipped the top portions off and composting those. And then the portions that didn't have a flower come out of it, it had all these little sheaths. This is the node right here. And it had brown sheaths, so I just peeled those off to see if there is an actual little bud that could turn into a new plant. And it's kind of hard to see, but that pointy spot right there is the potential for a new plant. And so I did that for each section, cutting somewhat 3/4 down to the next node so that there's a little bit of this top left. So for example, this isn't an exact match, but I leave some up top, and then looking for the next node. Actually, it looks like I didn't get all the little sheath off of this one. Let's see if it's underneath here. It might be this bump right here. I don't know if you can see that. There is a bump. I'm not seeing the triangular part, but it's a little bit of the sheath. Oh, I think I found it. There it is. So that bump, I don't know what that little bump is right here, but this is what we need. I think this has a real good potential because it's nice and green. But now you could see the two little pointy nodes and buds that could turn into plants. So I've been trying to identify each one. This one is really not looking good. Actually, I'm not sure if I think I might have meant to toss this one away. Yeah, I don't see, this is actually no good. I don't know why I have it in the pile here. So let's see, the next one, here it is. This one, it's nice and green. I'm actually not seeing a node. I wonder if it's underneath this green part. This part. I might try to peel this one back a little further. This one has it right there. This one, oh, right there. Oh, and right there. Okay, so far I've got 6 that are going to, I think, be viable. We'll see again what happens. This one is interesting. I wonder if it peels back a little more. I'm going to play around with this one, and then I'm going to prep what we're going to use. So basically, I've decided to try the method with sphagnum moss. So I'm going to get just like a square pot, a clean one like this, and put moist sphagnum moss in here, and I think use one of my terrariums, my small glass terrariums, which I have to find where I'm hiding them. Make sure they're all cleaned out, and probably set this inside of it to increase the humidity. So I'm going to get all that together. Make sure everything is sanitized and clean, and I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, and the other thing I did with all of this after I trimmed them is I sprayed them with my Garden Safe 3-in-1, which is fungicide, miticide, and pesticide. And it's all organic, so it's safe for pets and people. I love this stuff. It's called Garden Safe. So yeah, this will be fun. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I have my moistened sphagnum moss. I actually decided I'm just gonna plant up every single one of them, even this super duper brown one. It actually does have a little bit of a node right there. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I was gonna toss it, but I'm not going to do that anymore. And then the super green one, I tried to peel away some of the green, and it's very, very tough. So I don't want to damage anything. I've already done that, but I'm just going to put it in this pot up setup and see what happens. But I have high hopes for at least several of these to take off. So I've got this kind of cookie jar terrarium. I got this from IKEA. I think it comes with the lids, but I didn't buy the lids. So I left the rocks that were in the bottom, and it had a layer of moss and bark, so I got rid of all that. It was all really old, but I'm keeping the stone layer as like a water reservoir, and I nestled in the pot, and I'm actually going to put keep the styrofoam peanuts because I don't want to rot anything. So when I water, I think what I'll do is I'll just water down into here and let it put it high enough so that the sphagnum moss with some of its tendrils down in the peanuts will absorb the water and not keep these guys too moist, because my goal is to try to not rot them. And then I have little mini humidity gauges, so I might try to use one of those. Actually, I have one with like a probe, so I'll see if I can find that, and we'll use that as a probe. If it stays humid enough, I'm not going to do any type of a cover. But if the humidity is, let's say less than 70%, I think what I'll do is use some saran wrap, seal it up, and poke some holes. But gonna play it by ear. It'll be a little bit of a process, but I'm gonna start putting the sphagnum moss in here. Keep it fairly fluffy. And again, this is damp, so I soaked it and let it soak up all the water, and then I squeezed out the water. So for now, it's just damp. Okay. So with these guys, the node needs to point up. So that point on it needs to stand up. Now let me see if I've made this deep enough. According to a video I watched, I want the sphagnum moss to be just below it. I don't want it covered. So there's that one. I think what I'll do is put them all in and then figure out to cover more of the stem. I'll just get these guys in here. That one's way high up. This one I might have to put through the styrofoam. Yep. Let's push that down a little more. I'm gonna do the shorter ones last, kind of. Huh. So hopefully you're getting an idea. I'm looking for the node. Oh, I lost it. Where is it? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. This is that one one of them I wasn't sure about, but that's it right there. Let me try the middle. So anyway, I'm going to work on this. I need 2 hands at this point, and I'm going to get each one of these worked in, and then work the sphagnum moss so that it's just below every single one. So I have to adjust for heights because they're at different cut levels. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this all set up. Down in there's one of the nodes right up by the top of the sphagnum moss. I can't talk. Here's another node. Oh, I'm not seeing that node. I might need to move that down a little bit. There we go. So you can see the node. So I'm trying as best I can to keep the moss just under the nodes. We shall see what happens. Very excited. So I filled the bottom with distilled water. So the bottom of the pot is also in water, so the peanuts should have water in it, and any little tendrils of the moss should hopefully draw up the moisture, keep it nice and moist. I've got a probe in here that's connected to this temperature gauge right here. So right now it's 69% humidity. So I think I'm going to play around with putting some saran wrap up top to increase the humidity and hopefully increase the chance of little plantlets starting up. So that's my setup. So we will have a Phaius baby plant watch going on, maybe along with my keikis in the front grow room for my Phalaenopsis. So I think we're just gonna have a baby watch video series. That might be fun. Anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you're interested in the content. Maybe it gave you some ideas if you have Phaius orchids, if you want to try to propagate. Yeah, just let me know. Thumbs up, or in the comments if you have any questions for me, or if there's other content you'd like to see from my collection. I'm in my back grow room right now, and this is going to sit on my very messy table here, next to my mottled leaf species Phalaenopsis types. It'll get plenty of light from my Oncidium lights, which are way up here, beaming down. So I don't know if light also helps, but it's going to get plenty of light. And the humidity is fairly good just in the room itself, but I really do want to see this higher than 70%. So I'm, again, going to put some saran wrap, poke some holes, and watch this humidity to make sure it doesn't go up to 100%, because then I think it'll rot. So I'm going to try to keep it between 70 and maybe 80%. That's going to be my goal. Otherwise, I will post an update maybe in a couple, 2-3 weeks from now, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.